Hello everybody and guys, welcome to a very special video. This is gonna go on my main channel, that I'm on Man 22. And this is gonna talk about. I'll probably post it to the United Liberty Party because it does deal with politics itself. If you guys haven't followed the United Liberty Party on YouTube, go check it out. Um, you guys can also visit, just type in United Liberty Party, you'll find it, and then check out any link to our website or Instagram, Discord, and all that. But this is gonna go on my main channel also. But today's topic, well, I get to sit in front of a camera wearing Phillies gear, obviously, is going to be Freedom Fest 2024 and the presidential debate. My camera was glitchy. I can see it in the preview. That's not good, but we're going to talk about this anyway. Hopefully it won't glitch anymore. But we're going to talk about the presidential debate. Then this debate was between Chase Oliver, Jill Stein, and Randall Terry. And I will be giving you my opinions on who I'm going to vote for based off the debate and who I think won, honestly, in the debate. And I'll get into some of the comments that I was seeing around. Um, but yeah. Obviously, other people invited: Cornel West, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, and RFK Jr. were all invited. All of them declined to be there, including RFK, which was a shock. Um, they talked about at the debate that independents like him and Cornel West were invited and that they didn't join, and it was a bummer. I thought, RFK, you you always talking about getting on the debate stage. Well, there was a debate stage right there you could have gone on, RFK. Not that I am, I put, saying what RFK did is bad or anything. It was his personal decision not to show up, and I respect that. It respects his personal decision, and if he doesn't want to show up to a debate like that, he doesn't. But I think it is kind of hypocritical to say that you want to be on a debate stage, but want to be on a national debate stage and not be on a debate stage here where you can prove yourself still. Regardless of that, though, we're going to talk about the candidates that were there. Again, Chase Oliver of the Libertarian Party, Jill Stein of the Green Party, and Randall Terry of the Constitution Party. So we're going to start with the first candidate that I personally have a connection with. Not, well, not really connection, maybe. We'll have to see how things go. But we're going to start with, it's really glitching out right now. I'm going to try to fix this real quick. Okay. Please don't break. Okay. There we go. But the first candidate we're going to talk about is Randall Terry of the Constitution Party. And again, I have a special connection with this candidate because I actually do I actually help run and manage the Constitution Party's official Instagram account. If you guys go to the website, can't speak, constitutionparty.com, you guys go to the Instagram link. It'll take you to the Instagram page, the.constitution party. I actually do have access and help run it. If you want proof right now, I'll just pull it up on my phone real quickly, just to prove it to you guys that I actually do have access to it. Um, there it is. This is it. This is the official Constitution Party Instagram. I do have access to it. Um, so, yes, I do help manage and run the party. Um, and I gotta say, Randall, very theatrical, very animated, very just out there, like wild, like even though the debate, I noticed this, a lot of the two other candidates, Chase and Jill, weren't really able to rebuttal him much because he was just insane. Like, you know, does he make good points? I think they all make good points, and I think they all said stuff that I can agree with, which is not surprising. I get, which is kind of surprising. We'll get into that a little bit later. Um, but I think Randall Terry, though, he he makes good points. When it comes to stuff like um, just going back to big questions, you have stuff like, how would you fix the economy? Well, not fix the economy, but how would you buff up boost up the economy? Talking about energy. Obviously, editing the Federal Reserve. I think they all were were behind it. Same with pardon it, and he was gonna pardon Snowden, Assange. He would pardon all of them. I think that's good. I personally agree with that myself. I think he's a little bit out. I think his takes on the Democrat Party must be destroyed was a little far out there, and again, he just kept reiterating that during most of his talk. Even when it didn't really have anything to do with it. Um, you know, it like yes, I think the Democrat Party should go away, but I also think he needed to target the Republican Party a bit more when it came to stuff like that too. Um, you know, it, just being focused on one of the two parties, you know, it's not gonna make you stand out. It's gonna be like, oh, he's just another kind of Republican, person. He doesn't want to bring a full end to the two-party system or one-party system, as um, you know, some people say. But again, he is conservative, a bit more conservative than Republicans, and a bit more libertarian when it comes to economics than Republicans. Um, he's very pro-choice, which is something I expected from him. Um, Again, I know some of the background on him, um, and all that, being pro-life and all that. Fun fact: Daniel Terry was actually um, kind of like the Constitution Party founder, um, Howard Phillips. They both were part of the Republican Party. Then they left it, joined the Democrat Party, and then left the Democratic Party and became part of the Constitution Party. Well, Howard actually founded the Constitution Party, and Randall actually joined the Constitution Party as its presidential campaign. But fun fact: before he joined the Constitution Party, he was actually a Democrat. Um, so yeah, so um, well, I mean, other things he said, other fighting wars and stuff and fighting just wars, and all that. I do. I think there is a time and place where we have to fight wars. Sometimes, I think the way you put it though, like, sometimes you just have to kill. I think that's a bad way to put it, but he's not wrong. There are times where you have to fight. Um, you know, um, I don't want to get too much into the whole debate. I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to see the full debate. My thing is not focused on the actual debate. It's focused on the debate candidates, the candidates themselves, like my perceptions of them and what they answered, how they answered, and my personal perception of them after watching the debate. Because I think it's the first time I was seeing third-party candidates up on a stage. That's not true, actually. I watched the Wyoming House Representative debate back in 2022, but I digress on that point. A whole different kind of this is presidential debate, so something that more people want to see. It's not just Wyoming. This is an actual presidential debate for the national office of President of the United States. And all I gotta say is, I think Terry is. I say put him in office. You know, you know, he I think he'd be a good president. I really do. And I really think honestly, I think I'll spoil this a little bit. I think all three of these candidates tonight, Jill Stein, Chase Oliver, Randall Terry, put them in the White House together. If we can we is there a law that says, I'm sure there is actually in the Constitution, but I mean there is, but um, if it was possible, can we have all three of them in the White House? Forget Joe Biden forget Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Can we put Jill Stein, Chase Oliver, and Randall Terry in the White House? I think we could get stuff done with three people like that, surprisingly. Um, but moving on from Randall Terry, again, a lot of theatrics, very animated, um, kind of showy, you know. So, I mean, I think out of the three of them, in my opinion, I see a lot of people saying that he was the worst. He was probably a loser. you know, I don't think he was the winner. I don't think he was the loser either. Honestly, I think he was second place. I think Renate was second place. And again, that's that's a member of the Constitution Party. That is that helps with the social media. It's my personal opinion that Renate came in second in the debate. I can't. Again, it's based off your own personal politics of what you believe in, but um, it, what politics, what beliefs and politics I have and hold, I think he came in second place. Now we're gonna move on to Chase Oliver. Chase Oliver is, I think you may know, someone who's not new to debates and running races. He was the Georgia Senate candidate back in 2022 against Herschel Walker and Warnock. He led him to a runoff. Not sure why or how he didn't want to try to run again in the runoff. Sorry. Let me read that. I know why, because he's not allowed. The runoff comes. A runoff works in the way that the top two voters get to proceed on to the runoff. It's kind of the same system they have in France, where Georgia has the same system as France does, where whoever gets the most votes in the first round could win if they get over 50%. If you don't, and if the party gets over 50%, then you have to go to runoff, and then those two that get the top two votes, in that case it was Herschel Walker and Warnock, um, they get to move on to a runoff. So I know why, but I'm not sure really why Chase kind of went silent after that. I figured he'd try to promote these people to go vote for somebody. I think I saw something that he tweeted back when Twitter was still called Twitter, saying that he wasn't going to endorse the other one, which is fine by me. I think that was probably the better option. But regardless of his past election, let's talk about last night in the debate stage. And I think he was the best. I think he is the real winner of the debate. Very professional, but very very smart and stuff. Um, he talked to again, obviously being a libertarian. He wants to put onto the table that situations should be handled by the free market, which is, I think, one of the better ideas. Like even with climate change, I think free market solutions, private free market solutions, are the way to challenge that issue. Um, and I think he really understands most things. I think the one thing I have to gripe about Chase Oliver on is in the debate he said it's we would when selling land to Chinese farmers who want to buy land in the United States for farming, you're not selling it to the CCP government, you're selling it to a Chinese company. And Chase, I like what you said the entire night, but that's the one thing I don't think you understand how it works, my guy. And that is because you actually still are selling it to the CCP because the Chinese companies still report back to the CPP, or the Chinese Communist Party, or the Chinese People's Republic government. They still report back to the government of China. Um, I believe I remember reading somewhere that the way it works is like, yes, the head of the company is owned privately. It's a privately owned company. It's a the person who owns the company has doesn't have connection, but I personally think most of the people who own the private companies in China have connections to the government, but that's just my personal opinion. Um, but I remember reading somewhere that it was the labor unions, that the way it works is that the workers through the head of the labor union report back, or I believe it was members, or report to two members of the Chinese Communist Party. Um, so actually, even if it is a privately owned Chinese business, it still reports and has to follow guidance under the government. It's still kind of monitored, or I forget how they put it, but but the government is still very much involved. So even if so Chase, even if it is a private Chinese company buying farmland, it's still somehow connected. It's still somewhat connected to the Chinese Communist Party. So that's why I think you're wrong. But other than that, I think Chase. If I don't think he's gonna watch this video, but Chase, if you ever did watch this video, you were the best person. He's also young, which is something I've been promoting very much. We, um, I think ever since South Korea elected Lee Jong-suk, I don't I even pronounce that right. Don't crucify me in the comment section, Koreans. But I watched, I saw him win and bring a lot of young people, especially young males. Um, and I think, and I said Vivek Ramaswamy was going to be the next Lee Jong-suk. Fortunately, Americans are not that bright or accepting of younger talent within politics, so they voted for Donald Trump again. But I think, Chase Oliver is definitely. I would say he's the next Lee Jong Suk, but he is a younger candidate that I think could bring in a lot of young people into politics and into voting for him. And this is a message for all the young people out there. I'm putting in the middle of this video. Do not think you have to vote for Donald Trump or Joe Biden. You have choices. This is the video. This is the video telling you have choices. So remember that you have choices. And if you're looking for a young candidate to represent you, Chase Oliver is your guy. That's all I gotta say. Um, but obviously, again, he's. I can't. He doesn't say he said all the right things that I think I believe in. I say all the right things, even though it's objectively subjective. Um, again, he's again for ending the Fed, again free market, getting government out of everything, reducing government size. Even Randall Terry said it, you know, abolishing agencies and all that. And I think that Chase Oliver was just hands down, um, just kind of more professional than Terry, and Stein even a little bit. We'll get to why I think that in a little bit. Um, but he just presented himself a bit better, um, as more refined, I guess you could say. And that's nothing bad against him. He's pro gun. Um, he, you know, he wants to, balance the budget. Talk about the national debt. How bad it is. And I think, you know, I think Chase gets it. He's definitely someone I would vote for. Um, I think he belongs in the White House too. I'm not against not voting for him. I would promote him actually. In fact, I'm doing that right now. In fact, I'm promoting people to go out and vote for Randall. If you're more conservative, if you're more libertarian, vote for Chase. If you're more a progressive, vote for Jill. Because I'll get to why I think Jill. Um, actually, you guys should vote for her. In a second. Um, but finish up on Chase though. Um, you know, I think he it really speaks to me, because I am myself more of a libertarian. I would say more of a not libertarian or a right libertarian, but more of a conservative libertarian, I guess you could say. A little bit more conservative than most libertarians, but I believe in basically the core fundamental principles of libertarianism, which is he even said it too. He believes that if you're not hurting anybody, if you're not interfering with anybody, you know, your choice is your choice. It's none of my business what you choose to do in your private, property and house. You know, it's your private property. Whatever you do on it, whatever you choose to do, in your private life is none of my concern. It's none of it's none of the government's concern. It's your private life, and you can do what you want to do in your private life. And I fully agree with that. Again, I'm a conservative, but I believe though that regardless of what you want to do with your life, especially when it comes to social issues, with like stuff like abortion, which Randall wanted to talk about a little bit about, but I think that is a private situation that does not concern me or the government at all. That is a private situation between a woman and a man to some extent. That who is the father. Um, if he is present, I think he has a say in it too. I guess that's again a little bit more conservative, but it's the right of the parents of that unborn child to decide what they want to do. Um, and I believe that it's the decision. Um, it's none of my concern. It should be none of the government's concern. And it should never be any government's concern, whether it be state, local, or federal. It should never be a concern of the government whether a woman gets an abortion or not. And I think Chase understands that, but you know, again, he said the he said the core fundamental principles of libertarianism, which is government stay out of our lives, and people respect other people's private lives, which is something I absolutely do agree with. Um, so yeah. Now getting on to our final candidate of the night, Jill Stein. And this one was a shocker because I thought for a second I was not going to like her because of my preconceived adolescence politics that I am I'm slowly phasing out as the years. I'm becoming mature when it comes to politics and listening to other sides. Um, but I thought going into I thought, oh, it's the Green Party, bunch of left wing progressive big government stuff, lock up Assange and Snowden, they're traitors, like all the Democrats and Republicans say. Um, but no, actually, I was shocked that Jill Stein actually wasn't that bad. She she actually convinced me that if she was that if I had really had no other option and she was the only third party option, I would vote for her over the two parties. I'm not afraid to say it. In fact, um, you know, she actually called out the whole American military industrial complex more than the other guys, but she was able to call them out. She called APAC or whatever the fuck it's called. She called them out as being, you know, basically lobbyists for the state of Israel, influencing the United States government. And she said that the war in Russia, well, not Russia, but Ukraine, my bad, but the war between Russia and Ukraine, America never should have got involved with. And she even said that, we should have seen this coming because we were encroaching and, kind of egging on Russia by moving NATO closer to the east, moving it closer to Russia's borders. And she should have just said that. And I think, and she said she said she would pardon Snowden, Assange. She would even give him positions in the White House, which is like amazing. Which I think is great because I actually don't believe Assange are traitors or criminals. I actually stand with them. And she was saying that she put them in the White House, which is, I think, amazing. And she was the most surprising candidate last night because I really thought I was going to get a bunch of big government left-wing bullshit that most progressives say. And I didn't. I got someone calling out America saying, yeah, we fucked up getting involved in all these wars in the past. We fucked up getting involved in the Ukraine-Russia situation. We're fucked up for taking a side in the Israel-Palestine conflict, and not calling out Israel for the bullshit. Listen, the whole Israel-Palestine thing, I don't care where you stand. I have a stance, which is basically Israel has a historical right to has historical backing to the land, to claim the land. They have historical backing, stuff like the Bible, biblical scriptures, history. But that doesn't excuse what they're doing to Palestinians either. And I can call that out too. Palestinians are absolutely the victim in this whole conflict. The Palestinian people are absolutely victims. Not not every Palestinian is Muslim. Not every Palestinian is, Hamas or whatever. There are Christian Catholic Palestinians that get targeted, and you know I think it's complete bullshit that the United States has to get involved on the side of Israel and then paint every citizen of Palestine as bad people, which I just don't think is the which is really the right thing to do. And I'm glad Jill Stein was able to call it out and say, yeah, America is is what's the term I'm thinking of, is basically a puppet of Israel. And all things I said, America is being controlled, the politics, the parties being controlled by a few wealthy fuckers out there, a few billionaires, they said, probably trillionaires, honestly. But yeah, the rich, the rich few out there control. They just control everything, and I think all three are good at it. And like I said, Jill Stein, you know, the fact that she was up there calling out, this stuff like, we never should have, egged on Russia. We never should have pushed NATO farther out. We never should have, you know, gotten heavily involved in the Russia-Ukraine war like we did. I think, and that's something I agree with her, you know. The fact that she can be up there as a more left-wing progressive and say this stuff has is like the most was very shocking to me, and it actually it makes me like her. Like I said, I want all three. I would, if I could, if we had like injuries ranked choice voting, and we had to rank these candidates, and let's include RFK, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Cornel West. Okay, but if we use a ranked choice voting system, I would have to say number one is Randall Terry. Number two, no. Did I say number one? Number one would be Chase Oliver. Number two would be Randall Terry. Number three would be Jill Stein. Number four would probably be RFK Jr. Number five, Donald Trump. Number six would be Cornel West. And number seven would be Joe Biden. That's how I would rank him in a ranked choice voting system. If that's how I rank him. I think out of I kind of watched the Donald Trump Joe Biden president. I didn't really watch it, because I didn't want to sit there and listen to some bullshit. And I'm glad, because all I got from people talking about it is they talked about golf scores, which I have no idea how that helps the fucking country at all. But people want to wave the Trump flags and people will put out the Biden Harris signs, and it's like, are you like, are you kidding me? Like, we have actual problems. You want me to support two guys where one wants to talk about golf, and be the most pretentious douchebag ever, and the other one's a walking fucking corpse, No, I'm not gonna vote for them, And then, so, you know, like, I think it's just insane to me that, um, that last night I couldn't find a single reason to hate any of these candidates. Um, honestly, I don't think there was a single winner. I think it was all tight. I think they all did amazing last night. Again, if I had to pick a winner, I think it'd be Chase. I think the loser would have to be Jill Stein. Not because I disagree with a lot of things or disagree with her, her policies or anything. It's because it's because of the incident that happened in the debate where she just kept on talking and talking and talking, and they basically had to cut her mic off. Like even with Randall, he kind of joined on a little bit, but he eventually stopped, before, they cut his mic off. But for her, she just kept going, and they it was like, Jill, time's up. She just kept going and going, and they had to cut her mic off, and she was still kind of going too. So I think that's why she's mainly the loser, because she got her mic cut off. Um, Again, people's personal opinions, put them in the comments. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description below, and I'll even leave a pin comment with the link to the to the video. They have it on YouTube actually, and they have it on Rumble. I watched it live on Rumble, but they do have it on YouTube. And I think I'll leave a link, and you guys leave your discussions and who you think was the winner, loser, in the comment section below. Again, if I had to rank it, if I had to pick a winner, Chase Oliver was the winner. Tay came second. Jill Stein came third. But altogether, I think all three of them did a very good job, and I think all three of them, if I could put them all three in the White House, I would have three United States presidents, and have it be these three. I think they all did a good job. I think in my personal opinion, it was a tie. No one won. They all did good. They all get first place in my opinion. But if I had to choose, Chase Oliver, Randall Terry, Jill Stein last. But anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video, dissecting the candidates and what I felt about the presidential camp debate of Freedom Fest, the free and equal presidential debate of Freedom Fest. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this video, guys, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Probably another game video. I'm gonna try to work out maybe getting at least Randall Terry in on an interview. What do you guys think about that? You guys want to see? Would you guys want to see Randall Terry interview between me and Randall Terry? Since I have connections to the party that he's a candidate for, since I have connections to the Constitution Party. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. If you guys want to see more political stuff, let me know in the comment section below. Leave a like in the video too if you guys want to see more political stuff. But anyway, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Peace, guys.